Hello and welcome to another video. Today I have a bit of a different approach where we try to make the stuff you're learning more interactive. So that rather than me just explaining stuff to you, today we're gonna have you try to play along a little bit. So we have a VOD from one of my random accounts where I was playing a game in plat, and yeah. This should be a game with a lot of mistakes for the enemy, right? And obviously, if you play well, then you should be able to do really well in plat and gold and silver and whatever, and get a lot of kills and farm and everything else. So okay, we can get into it from the start, and all we're gonna start off with is I want you, whenever I pause and tell you options, to just pick like an option, write it down, like maybe get your own reasoning, whatever, and then we can just compare because I'll give you the answers after it. So first of all, we're gonna be thinking about the matchups. So pretty aggressive fighting stuff and pretty boring, and then like meh, kind of boring as well. Push, and then this guy like just does whatever he wants, kind of low key on the down low. So okay, with that in mind, we're gonna try to play the game. So no real important decision right now, though. You should ask yourself, where do I want to ward? And doesn't really matter too much at the moment. The one thing I will say in terms of warding is that you shouldn't really base and get sweeper because it's kind of bait, especially on champs like Evelynn. Like, if you're not playing really high elo, it's really bait because vision is just more valuable. And against Yi, for example, the only ward I would really bother doing is something like this so that he doesn't invade me level 1. That's the only thing I would really bother with. Or ward my blue buff or something else, just so I don't get randomly invaded. But yeah, top lane NPC matchup, so I think I'll make my Yorick leash. I just keep checking so that he doesn't like just walk here. And okay, we can start off and go through it a little bit. Okay. So we do red buff. Obviously we will smite this. I won't ask you that because red buff is above 600, so no reason not to smite it. Here, what I've seen in terms of efficiency is that if you smite the Krugs, then you want to hit the small one like 2-3 times or something, and they die at the same time. And if you don't smite the Krug, then you want to hit the small one only once, and then you focus the big one. And then that makes your clears a bit better. It's okay. We're gonna look at the lanes a little bit shortly, I believe. Mid lane's like fighting a bit. So we saw that for a second. And we saw bot lane for a bit. And now the question is, okay, so what is the plan here, right? Oh my god, it went to the start. Got scammed. It's fine, we'll get to it quickly. So, based on the way bot lane is looking, are we taking W and running bot lane? Are we, I don't know, taking W and running mid lane? So first option, running bot lane. Second option, running mid lane. And third option, do we just keep clearing? Okay. So let's break down each option. I can't really think of other options for you, so if you thought of something else, I don't know, you can comment it or something at the end, and maybe next time I'll include more options. So okay, let's go step by step. Going bot lane seems kind of pointless because our Nautilus is not in lane. And that would mean that even though I can arrive here, it's gonna be pretty awkward. Our Nautilus is gonna have to flash in, and we have to hope that this guy doesn't get level 2 before the Nautilus goes in. But the problem is that he will get level 2, and then they also have sums, so it seems just really disastrous. Mid lane, same thing, like it's too pushed, so it seems disastrous. So here, just pushing was the answer. A pretty simple question to start off. Okay, Did I say pushing or clearing? I think I said pushing. Just clearing is the answer. If I said pushing, that just means, I don't know, I have issues or something. Okay, we clear a few more camps. And unless something really disastrous happens, we're not gonna stop doing our camps and run bot lane with 2 points in queue. Though it can happen, it can happen. But yeah, we just finished this up. Mid lane got a kill somehow. We look at bot lane, because that's the lane we're kind of playing towards right now. And yeah, you can already see by the pings that we're just going for this. I don't think this is even worth asking, because it's pretty much the only play on the side of the map. So let's just keep going. Until something interesting does happen. So we just scuttle. And then I will ask, okay, what is your plan after scuttle? Do you 1, instantly base? Do you 2, I don't know, invade or something? I don't know. Do you 3, go somewhere and ward? Do you 4, I don't know, wait for your mid lane to come and gank that? Or do you 5, just like clear this and then go around and gank bot lane? When this wave like bounces and they try to crash it, then inevitably they just don't crash properly, and then you can maybe like walk like this and gank it. So I'll give you a bit of time. You can pick which one you like. And we can break them down one by one. Okay, so first of all, just basing. Seems like a fine option. Not the worst. While you base, you can also place down a ward or something, and could be pretty decent. Invading, there isn't really anything to invade, because Yi is topside, and his bot side camps are gone, so not really an option at all. This is like okay. Then we're gonna go, okay, ward. So we could ward something like this and this, or we could ward like this or something. And this could be pretty valuable. This is why I really like wards, because you can kind of see where laners ward, but at the same time, if you keep your yellow trinket, then like here I have two wards. That means this whole side of the map is completely unplayable for the enemy jungler if I just double ward. Because even if they sweep and they find my wards, like these two still have 2 wards, so really, really, really unplayable for enemy. So okay, that's like pretty good. Okay, seems like a pretty good option. Waiting for mid lane and ganking that, this is gonna take, I don't know, like 30-40 seconds or something until it's at least somewhat gankable, so wouldn't recommend that one. I'll just say that this is not really an option I would consider. Bot lane ganking though could be interesting, but the issue is by the time that the enemy bot lane arrives, they could also just let this crash. You don't really have a dive angle, I don't believe, because they have too low HP and stuff. And at that point, where it's just like, what do we do, right? Because by the time that this crashes back from their tower and then that happens, you wasted a minute or more, and Yi is bot side, and it's just a disaster. So here, I would just pick one of these 2 options, base or ward. And then base anyway if you ward, right? Because nothing else to do, really. Topside scuttle should be gone, so there's nothing to really do. That's pretty much what I go for. I just go for 1 deep ward, I believe, and just base. I also channel my recall before I place my ward so that I get a bit more timing. Here I actually failed what I wanted to do. When I get into base, I think I failed it, I'm not sure though. When I get into base, I try to buy sweeper and then yellow trinket, because usually it's advantageous. Either it gives you lower cooldown, or it updates with your level, or whatever else. Like it's so stupid. Like there's always a mechanic like this, and Riot, whenever they fix one of them, there's another one. Like I believe that the way it works right now is if you go to base and you sell, or well, you buy the red trinket and then you buy the yellow trinket, it refreshes your yellow trinket cooldown based on your level, and then you have like a bit lower I don't know, man. It's really dumb. It's really dumb. I saw this like a few months ago, and I've been doing it since, and maybe it doesn't even work anymore. I don't even pay attention. I just do it in case it does. Nothing to really lose. It's okay. Now we have a little bit of an option. So do we go top lane, right? Do we go top lane? Or do we just clear our camp? So you have option 1 and option 2. What would you pick? Okay, we can break it down. So top lane, the issue with top lane is that because we walked here and we warded, we were actually kind of late on our base. And if we didn't do that, or if we warded more superficially, for example, like here and based, we would have actually been on time. But now the issue that arose. The issue that rises here is that if we walk like this, by the time we walk, this wave is all gone and he's just going back to base and gear 0, right? So we kind of lost our timing, but it's kind of hard to know. So I mean, if you look at top lane and you somehow see it, then you can just go for a more shallow ward, and maybe that's an adaptation. But the question is also, when I was here, was it possible to actually see that this would be happening soon? And probably not in this ELA, because the trades tend to be pretty meh. But yeah, as you can see, this guy just based, and because he just walked away, I just say, okay, well, I'll just do my camp then. Or well, he at least tries to signal that he based. Then he TPs and he walks back to the lane, if I remember right. And yeah. So, interesting. Okay, now after this camp, we have another option. So, another multiple choice quiz, right? So, the first option is walking top. The second option is, I don't know, invading. The third option is after Raptor is just walking straight bot. The fourth option is going for dragon. And the fifth option is clearing your camps, right? So I'll give you a moment to decide what you like the most. Okay, so you had enough time, I suppose, and if not, then you could have paused. So first of all, top lane, enemy top laner full HP, my top laner not full HP, my top laner is really low, my top laner has no TP, I believe. So, but we're just not doing this, that's just not happening. Invading Yi in his top side could sometimes be an option, especially if you have something like Sork Boots and you have like a big lead or something. But I wouldn't really say that we have such a big lead that we should just do that. If he was like level 3 and I was level 5 or something, sure, why not? But like this, especially when no prio top lane, not the biggest fan of this invade idea, due to those reasons. Bot lane, walking straight bot lane after this, not the worst play. Need to look at bot lane. If you paid attention to their warding, then you can also figure out which way to walk, if you want to walk like this or like this. And it could be an okay option. Like, it's not the worst. You might say, like, if you're, I don't know, a high elo jungler, you might say, I don't like this, but honestly, it's not that horrible. Could be worse. Fourth option, dragon. So this is an interesting idea, because in high elo, if this is the map state, then it's very possible. We have mid lane prio, we have a good mid laner for dealing damage to dragon. Enemy Master Yi either went topside or he's on dragon right now, and this could be a pretty good option for high elo, right? And then the final option is just full clear, and which is just okay, like it's consistent, right? But we're playing in low elo, right? So, or well, I mean, it depends what elo you are, because if you are, I don't know, silver, then I guess this is like maybe even high for you. But in general terms, in terms of what most people consider to be low or high in league, then we would say that this is on the lower side, and because of that, it's really just a choice between these three, and you can pick what you prefer. I believe that what I go for is clearing, because in that case you're consistent, but I think all three of these could work. You can also maybe get enemy camps or whatever. Could work out. But actually Yi is even here, and he actually gets spotted, which is really interesting. This means that he did his camp late. Well, his camp respawn late also. I thought he would be topside by this point, because this is just an okay dive opportunity, or he would be dragon, doing dragon or something, with the prio that he has in bot lane, but oh no, he does nothing. Not like I remember the whole game either, so I guess so. But yeah, as you can see, trying to gank bot lane would have been disastrous, because I didn't look at bot lane before, and you'd have to look to know what's going on. So that could have actually ended up pretty badly. And trying to take dragon could have ended like pretty badly as well, because lack of prime bot lane. Oh, either way. Could have been okay, could have been bad. But okay, at this point, we have like options, right? Again, like right now, we have to choose an approach angle, right? So there are like a few ways we can approach this. We can, I don't know, go do dragon or go back to our camp, but I think most of you will agree that that's just not really the play. So the question is, do we want to bully bot lane and maybe like dive enemy ADC or something? Or do we want to walk like this and just fight the Annie? Do we want to just walk like this and protect the Diana? Or I don't know, do you want to walk like this and I don't know, do something? Nah, that's not even an option, man. That's like way too bad. But okay, is it one of these options that you would pick, or is it another one? That's the question from me to you right now. So this would be 1, this would be 2, and this would be 3. Would you pick one of these? And if you said yes, I hope you didn't pick 1, because that option looks kind of disastrous. But okay, 2 and 3. So this is kind of interesting, right? I don't think that either one of these is the best play, but both of these can work. So 3 is a more defensive play, and if the enemy tries to force and you wait for the Nautilus, that can work out. 2 is... yeah, I'm not sure. I mean, you just try to one-shot Annie, I guess. Not sure, but Yi is gonna show up here, most likely, so... I don't know. Could work, could not, who knows. But the option that I think is the best here is just going from where you are right now, aka dragon, getting to this bush, and then waiting here for Nautilus to come, and also waiting for Yi to come and stuff, and then you can just turn the fight. So you can play around vision. And I think that this is what I really like here, because it gives us the most reactive power. Unless this is warded, obviously. But if this is warded, then either they just walk at us or nothing happens, and that's fine. But yeah, I think that this is what I choose to do. And see how, now because I'm staying here, I actually get to see Yi do this, right? Because if I just went here, I wouldn't see anything. I would just be like at this point, my play would be to just run to mid lane and try to join the fight. But then we're kind of 2v3, so probably just no play. And if I just ran here, then I'd probably walk into Annie and Yi, and it would be meh. But because we chose, this is basically a middle ground option, right? So it's kind of a waiting move. In strategy games, you often have waiting moves. For example, I don't know, in chess, you can castle or something, and you just see what the enemy does, you know? Like, if they have no good moves and you just castle, you're just like, well, what do you do? And they're gonna have to do something. I don't know. Maybe not the best analogy, but whatever, man. So yeah, we end up catching out this guy, and this guy will never win because we're level 5 with items and he is level 3. I mean, he also has items, but we engaged on him also, and we got the first damage, and we're also moving towards our teammate, so he can't win. This ends up being really good. We do a camp just to try to get closer to 6, and because all of our camps topside are down, so not really too much to say about that. And okay, I mean, yeah, I was just trying to get my stuff. I mean, I just walked bot lane in case that they get all in or something. But I don't really have to do that anyway, so I won't really ask that. And this is just reaction. Just wait for that, get you going, and flash. I think there isn't too much to say about this. Now the question is, what do you do right now, right? Like, do you just base? Do you hover them? Like, okay, do you want base? Do you 2 hover your bot lane, right? Do you 3 go for this plate? Do you 4 do dragon? So we can break it down one by one after we pick one. So okay, if we base, we can go topside, we can do these camps, but our bot lane might die, and we might lose dragon. Both can happen, or just one of them, and not the biggest fan. Do we hover, right? So do we just stay here and hide? And then we just don't let enemies see where we are. Maybe Yi goes for them. If Yi goes for them, then we just kill him. If not, then I don't know, we can do plate or dragon. Pretty decent, I think. No real big issue with this. You can even recall while you do that and do something, I don't know. And you can just finish the recall when these 2 like back off after plate. Could work. Do we just go straight to dragon? Okay, I mean, could work. But the problem with dragon that I see here is that if you do dragon right now, what's gonna happen is you're gonna be in a really awkward situation, you know? Where, okay, now you want to base for mythic, and your ult isn't up yet, and maybe you like fought a dragon or something happened, or maybe nothing happened, right? But now you have like all of these camps to do, and you have to do this, and I don't know, then this is up, and then this is up, and then you're just like overwhelmed kinda. Because it just takes too long to do everything. So, bit of a question there. Seems like an okay choice, but oh wait, this was the other thing. This was the plate. Oh, whatever. This is the answer for dragon. Seems like okay. This also seems okay. And plate seems, based on the runes that I'm playing, because I'm testing first strike with future market and stuff, plate could give us mythic. So this could give us mythic. So that could be a pretty good way to power spike. So I think these 3 options are all okay. I think some kind of combination play is going to be the best though. So you open with hover. So you just stay here somewhere, you hover a bit, and then you decide if you want to do like plate or if you want to do dragon. And then you can do whatever, right? I think that's the best way to play this, because then you will also get mythic. So that's what I do. I just stay here. I hover for a bit. And then I decide, okay, nothing's happening, cool. I'll go do dragon then. I also saw Yi, so I didn't really have to worry too much. And do we cancel dragon here or not? When we see this, it's just like a 1-2. If we cancel dragon, we walk here. We have to hope that these 2 keep committing to Diana, who's basically already out. So if she dies, it's kind of her issue right now, right? And if we don't, then maybe she like fights it and she dies. So could work out badly either way, but I think the enemy has to play too badly for us to cancel this, so just don't cancel. Don't bother. And again, I get like a ward from a yellow trinket, and soon we're gonna swap to blue trinket when we're level 9, but So I think you just do this, and then you probably base to get Rocket Belt, right? And now they don't really have a win con on the bottom side of the map, but you see, this is the issue I have in my head, where I think I bought Alternator, and instead I bought this thing. And this whole time I was operating with this framework, and I'm interested to know how many of you actually realized that I won't have enough gold to base and buy Rocket Belt after either getting Plate or Dragon. I'm quite interested in that. So that's a little test for you. Because in-game, I forgot that I bought the thing, but now I knew, because I remembered from in-game, because I was upset here. I was like, okay, I'll just base and I'll buy it. And instead I had to stay on the map and like do some camps, and then I was here really long, and then I was like depressed and loser, I don't know. Stuff like that. And now see, I'm in a really awkward position. Because now the Herald is coming up, and my ult is still down, and I kind of want to base. So I'm just like, well, what now? And because I played this tempo badly, right? I didn't base at any point. Now I'm like 10k gold on the map. Yi actually gets a free gank, even though otherwise I should be able to freely fight Yi, even if I didn't have Mythic. And I can't even catch up to him. But my MF does get him, but I don't know, some stuff happens here. It's interesting. And we end up basing anyway, but this is really messed up tempo. See? Like, one small mistake in terms of, not even like a mistake where you die or something bad happens or something. Just, you're on the map, it really becomes awkward to play, and suddenly stuff like this can happen, right? At this point, I think it's pretty obvious we're just going top because this guy is staying here because he has such a huge wave. There's no way that he won't keep trying to take plates. It's just too much value for him. And since he stays so long, we most likely get to him anyway. All right. So what are we gonna do? Are we gonna just walk here and hit the plant? Are we gonna invade? Are we gonna just do Herald? And I just clicked here just so my champ moves here. Are we gonna take the Scuttle Crab if it's up? Are we gonna, I don't know, go Malzahar? What's the plan? And if we're invading, then are we invading to kill Yi or to take his camps? I'll give you a moment. You can decide what you like here. And then we can go through it. Okay, so a Scuttle, I mean, that would just end up being like either one of these anyway, like invading or Herald, so Scuttle isn't really something to consider too much. It's just there. You just do it at some point if it's up. Going mid seems pretty useless considering this guy's under tower and it's Malzahar, and it could prove disastrous for us. Not really worth the risk. Invading for camps. Okay, sure. If we get the camps, could have some value. Could have like some value, yeah. And invading to kill Yi would be a lot of value, right? So our priority kind of should be to either kill Yi or take his camps. Then take this, which is like the second thing, and then take the neutral, probably. Because we're really strong and we have ult. But this priority would flip easily, right? If we didn't have our ult or we weren't really strong. Because in that scenario, the most dangerous thing would be Herald, right? So in that case, maybe we would do something like this, walk up, do the pink. I mean, we can just walk up and place the pink either way, right? And we can do it this way as well. And then we would just go do Herald, because we don't want that to disappear off the map. And we can still do that right now. That's also an option. Either way, I think that those options are pretty fine, but I just chose this because I think it's the most winning. But I actually played it wrong, and he ends up living? No, but I have to ult, which is part of me playing wrong. But yeah, we get both of them in. Okay, again, decision time. This. That's like number 1. Number 2 is top lane kill. Number 3 is base Magi. Number 4 is take enemy wolves and Grump. And no, number 5 is go AFK or something. So we can break them down one by one. Going straight up here would be fine. It's winning, but I think it's like the safest play and kind of the least winning. Or well, not the least winning. The least winning one is another one. Then we have the option of basing and buying Magi, which could work if we were stronger or had ult. If we didn't waste our ult, I think that could work, because then we could base, buy Magi, and then like run like this and try to find Yi, or run like this and try to find Yi. Either way could work. Could be an interesting thing, but we don't have ult, so that changes the situation. So I don't think that this is really valuable. The next option was going top lane and ganking that guy, which could be pretty difficult without our ult again. Could be a pretty good option though with ult. So most likely we're gonna do enemy camps, or try to do them at least, as long as we don't get killed or well stopped by the enemy top laner, and then just take this, right? A combination play it again. I'm really sad I don't get to listen to the music and play it. I had such nice songs in this spot as well, but I don't know. Then the video can like get blocked and whatever, and it's gonna be too difficult for me to, I don't know, redo the voice, and then I can resync it and whatever else. And also maybe people don't like background music on stuff like this, who knows? Not sure. But yeah, we're basically just following the plan. This guy walks up and just play it back so that you don't get randomly lowied. Finish this, and then I can finish her. The reason I want to finish her after I finish the Herald is because her wave in top lane is hard pushing into us. So, first of all, my Herald won't reset, and second of all, she's going to lose more. So that's my reasoning there. I won't really ask why you would think the reasoning that I played like that is, because I doubt many people would really get it. And I think that some of the people who would get it would disagree with it, so I'll just say it as it is. So yeah, I mean, not much to say here. We're just walking to a lane, because they're like the only lane that's on the map. Just collecting a kill. So we'll wrap this up shortly, but I mean, whatever this is, that just happened. Right. I wonder how many of you saw that one coming. Either way, let's get to one more decision point, and then we can wrap it up. We herald just to get mid tower down, because it's like one plate. Not much of a decision here. I'm just going for a free kill. I'll just try to find one more okay decision. Decision timer. Okay, we're 10-0. And now, okay, the final decision timer. So how do we best transition this lead into a complete stomp? Like, just so we don't end up being that guy who's 10-0 at 12 minutes and then we do nothing with it, right? So what do we do? Okay, so there are options, right? Maybe, okay, I'll give you one option. Don't even go for the Silawi kill, just walk straight mid lane and escort the Herald and try to make the Herald take more towers. So it's like this. The second option is though from this point, where we would go for every camp in East jungle right now. And the third option is to hunt Yi. The fourth option is to go straight to Dragon, because Dragon is spawning. And the fifth option is to do some kind of combination of that. So I'll give you a bit to decide on this final decision. And let's get to it. So first of all, going mid and just escorting the herald and trying to kill someone, that sounds really coin flip and doesn't really sound like I'm going to take this consistently. So I'm not a fan of that. Taking enemy jungle, all of it, like taking all of these camps, it sounds really good because he is gonna fall really far behind. And then also I can just kill him sometime during this. Chasing Yi down, that's kind of pointless because I would rather just do his whole jungle and at some point he's gonna come to me. If I chase him, then it's gonna be harder. Taking Dragon, I mean, I can just do Dragon at the end of this. So I think by process of elimination, we already figured out what we should do, right? Just take their whole jungle. Well, let's see what I do. Maybe I'm eBay. I don't know. Who knows? Okay, so we start with this. Though an interesting idea here would be to skip this and go straight to his red side jungle because his red spawns soon, and that way we are more likely to meet him and deny him a bit more. So that is an optimization that you could go for. Could be decent. But seeing as he has proximity to his bot lane here and he has a Malzahar here, I'm not the biggest fan of it. But what I chose is actually something different because I realized that he took his bot side camps. I don't really care about taking Dragon right now. I think my team can contest it even without me. So what I chose is I'll just kill Alawi. And if I kill Alawi, I'll make a Demon King on side lane as well. If you think about it a little bit. Low key, on the down low. If you know what I mean. I just ward this so that she doesn't like eat the bush or something. And I'd rather just do this. I mean, the ward is valuable anyway after we kill her. But I just don't want to be in the bush permanently. So yeah, nothing she can really do here. I even invest ult. Because I'm not sure if I did it in time, but I just want to get a bit more first strike gold if that is the case, that I do get it. I don't think I did it in time though, I think I did it a bit late, so whatever. And then we just basically wrap up the game, just take Dragon, go around and wrap up the game. Either way, this is a bit of a different format than usual, so tell me if you liked it and tell me how you did also, if you got all the answers right, if you picked only good answers, if, I don't know, you had other ideas even. I would be curious to hear all of that. And also I'm gonna give away a free coaching session if we reach 500 subs, I don't know. Or well, if, when, whatever, man. So at that point, I'll just give away one to someone. And yeah, if you enjoyed the video, then like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Peace.